Hello, my name's Mark Rosen, and I will be presenting on behalf of Oregon State University, Guerilla Science, and Pratt Institute. I'll be talking about Guerilla Science, an approach to preaching beyond the science choir. Now, the motivation for our work is based on the fact that much STEM outreach suffers from the so-called Matthews effect, whereby those that engage with and benefit most from existing STEM outreach channels such as museums and science media tend to be those who are already interested and engaged. The rich get richer. An alternative to this approach is to embed public engagement formats into cultural places where participants do not necessarily have a high pre-existing affinity for STEM. In this project and our work writ large, we look at the effect of one such program, Guerilla Science, and how by embedding interactive, asset-based STEAM learning activities into cultural places like arts and music festivals, we are able to reach a community that would otherwise not engage with STEM. So some of the examples of the work we do are depicted in this slide. On the top, you can see a series of highly pyrotechnic chemistry demonstrations at a music festival. And on the bottom row, a series of events that range in the bottom left from Flavor Feast, a pop-up stand that explores the multimodal nature of taste, to the middle, a citizen science experiment at a disco to see how people synchronize their dances, to, on the bottom right squares, lab rats, a maze where you, the participant, take the place of the lab rat and navigate using your sense and smell, and in purple and pink, the memory maze, a rendering architecturally of how the brain is constructed. Now, in these activities, we asked 3 questions. Where is the best place to do these activities, or what is the nature of these activities such that they are most effective? Who comes to them? And what the people who come to them take away. Now, in this particular study, we're going to focus on the second question of who comes and refer to our other work on Google Scholar to find answers to 1 and 3. So in this particular work, we looked at 2 large-scale music and art festivals. One, the Oregon Eclipse Festival, taking place in rural Oregon, highly engaging music festival in rural Oregon around the eclipse, music, electronic dance, and arts were the main themes. And a second event, Figment Arts Festival on Governor's Island, New York, which is a community-based free public festival. And at these 2 events, we looked at who came to these activities and we compared them to who attended the overall milieu but did not come to the events. We found that the people who attended the Guerilla Science events represented the community of the larger festival fairly well, in that they had a normal distribution of science affinities. That is, the people who come to these sort of STEAM learning activities tend to be those that both enjoy science already, but to a large extent, those that don't. So that's people with low STEM affinity. And it's this latter group that is missing from many of the existing public engagement channels. We found that not only do they attend, but they take away learning. So self-reported surveys found that they report gaining science knowledge. Now, the implications for this work in terms of both equity, STEM literacy for civic purposes, and economic development are clear. At the moment, very little in the way of mechanisms for people to stay up to date, retrain into the workforce, and have access. This represents an evidence-based mechanism by which that can be rectified. Thank you.